Yet again, I've been dragged from my warm, cosy fire and country cottage to another city, and this time it's Paris, and I'm with Navimow, who have sponsored this episode and brought me all the way out here to take a look at some of their newest releases. Now, I've just watched their keynote on their new robot lawnmower technology, and there are some things in there that I think will impress you as much as it's impressed me. So let's go and have a look at those. There are two core technology differences in this year's 2026 lineup. Something called Xero Turn and another thing called EFLS Lidar, EFLS Lidar. But the first thing I want to talk about is the Xero Turn all-wheel drive. And the best device to show you that on is on the brand new X4. Now, this is the first time that I've ever piloted my own robot lawnmower. I wish I had this at home because this will be quite fun, but this is an excellent demonstration of what this does and what this all-wheel drive Xero Turn technology is capable of. Robot lawnmowers try and tackle this in different ways, but I've found that over the years, most of them churn up the ground when turning on the spot. When we go into Xero Turn mode, it will spin its wheels at an angle and then spin on its axis. By doing that, you're reducing the amount of friction on the grass. This is an excellent technology, and it's quite a complicated piece of kit to do that. It needs a lot of technology in those front wheels to actually be able to change them at an angle. This ultimately creates a far better experience overall, and I must say it's probably one of the sharpest turning circles I've seen in a robot lawnmower. Now, it's not just that absolute beast, the X4, that has this all-wheel drive technology with Xero Turn. Believe it or not, they've managed to put it in their three-wheeled options as well with the i2 range. So on the bottom of this, you can see that it's got this amazing front wheel here. Now, normally that's just a pivot wheel on other models that's smooth. This actually has a full traction ability and can move independently, so you're still getting that exact same pivot technology where it can pivot on the spot, reducing the amount of churns up that you get in the garden. Now, with other robot mowers where that is just a pivot wheel essentially, all of the power needs to come from these two wheels. If you imagine you're spinning them to the side like this in opposing ways, you are going to churn up your ground if it's even slightly wet. And I live in Wales, and it's always wet, but that changes the game entirely. And it's great to see them giving some love, not just to their four-wheel, all-wheel drive models, but to their three-wheel range as well. Not bad. Now, talking about the three-wheel models, this brings me nicely on to talking about that next big change in technology, the EFLS or EFLS Lidar technology. Now, what Navimow have done here, I think, is the future of robot lawnmowers. They've not just done LiDAR, they've not just done RTK, they haven't just done vision-based navigation. They've done all three. They've paired everything up into one navigation unit. Now, there is a bit of an asterisk here because it's not available on all models. It's only the i2 LiDAR Pro, the H2 and the X4. The full system is available. But they've blended vision, they've blended RTK, and they've blended LiDAR so that it gets the most precise and accurate representation of your lawn. Because that's one of the big challenges with robotics, is working out how to keep the robot in the area knowing where it is. And the fact that they've gone and used all three is brilliant. Unlike something like a Tesla where they're dropping LiDAR and every other sensor in favor of just vision, I think that personally has limitations. So this is fantastic. But there's one little sweetener, an additional little thing that this has been built into certain models, the RTK. Now, I've mentioned RTK a couple of times, but you all know that I dislike RTKs considerably. They're another horrible, nasty piece of equipment that you just need standing in your garden that just gets in the way. Setting it up is a bit of a ball ache. I've never liked the whole experience of an RTK staff stuck in your garden. So imagine my delight when they announced something called NRTK, which means Network RTK. This uses cellular data as the RTK, so there's no additional staff, no additional equipment. You can literally drop these into your garden and they will map it automatically using the combination of vision, LiDAR and that network RTK with pretty much zero setup at all, which is fantastic. But that's not everything. There is one more additional sweetener. They announced that this network RTK is going to be free for life. Normally, when you need a cellular connection with devices like this, you'll have to pay a subscription fee of X number of pounds per month. Whereas what Navimow have done is they've thrown that rule book out the window and they're actually giving users a full product without any additional subscription fees. And if you don't like that, well, there's something wrong with you. You can see what a difference having vision, LiDAR and this NRTK does, because in here is actually a visual representation of the garden itself, all scanned from this camera and this sensing system, which is an absolute beast. Have a look at this thing, it is an absolute powerhouse. It uses as well solid state LiDAR, so there's a lot less to go wrong mechanically inside it. Unlike a lot of robot vacuums for inside, you remember you see that kind of spinning LiDAR that scans the environment. This doesn't use that, this has the solid state LiDAR, which is a bit different, and I won't get too much into detail, it's quite technical. But one thing I didn't notice was the H2 range, and this was something I just found out now, actually has a little physical rain sensor on the top as well. So it's got the LiDAR, it's got the NRTK, it's got the vision assistance, and it's also got a rain sensor as well, which is excellent for detecting whether or not it's raining, because obviously you can't go by the weather. The weatherman is always wrong. And talking about vision accuracy, this is just an example of the Navimow kind of system and LiDAR. This is the i2 they've got up here, but that is a cool visual representation of what is going on. And this is how it kind of pinpoints what's in front of it. You can see as I move further away, I would say about here, I'm about 4 or 5 meters away, and it can still accurately pick me up. Looks a bit spooky. So that is everything from today's announcements with Navimow in Paris. Some incredible technology. I'm really looking forward to testing some of these innovations in my home environment or lawn environment, because obviously I can't see exactly how well they work. All we've got is the information that we'll be given here. But overall, I can't see why these advancements won't make an incredible difference. But for me, the thing that I love the most out of today is that network RTK. The fact that they've gotten rid of those horrible RTKs that I just can't stand. That is a massive bonus. And I've always said that that is the future of this type of technology, and Navimow is leading the way. If you want to take a look at any of the Navimow stuff that we've looked at today, I will link it all in the description below. But other than that, guys, I'll see you back for another episode of STU'S Reviews soon.